The large hall fell silent as Dean Vox stepped onto the stage. His 6 legs moved with grace across the smooth floor. The students of the Galactic Union's Academy of Xenobiology watched with wide eyes and various breathing appendages. "Today marks a historic moment," Dean Vox said, his voice booming. "For the first time, our academy will send students to study on Earth." Whispers spread through the crowd. Earth, the mysterious Class 12 Deathworld that somehow produced a spacefaring species. In the third row, Jun sat up straighter. The young Loraxian's skin changed from blue to bright yellow with excitement. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "A Deathworld exchange," whispered Dai, the Vesperian sitting next to him. Sunlight from the dome above reflected off her crystalline skin. "That's bold." On Jum's other side, Hannah's tentacles curled with interest. The Nexian tilted her bulbous head. "I heard humans can survive wounds that would kill most species," she said. Dean Vox raised all 4 of his arms. "We will select 3 students for this program. They will study at a place called Seoul National University for 1 rotation." Jum's heart raced. He had studied humans since he first learned about them. Most aliens saw them as dangerous, unpredictable creatures from a planet that should not support life. But Jum saw them differently. He saw survivors. 2 weeks later, Jum stood in shock as he read the message on his datapad. He had been selected. His skin turned bright purple with joy. "Congratulations," said Professor Tai, walking into the preparation room. The old Moraxian scales had long ago faded from vibrant red to dull orange. "You 3 were our top choices." June looked at the other selected students. Dai stood stiffly, her crystalline form catching the light. Hannah floated slightly above the ground, her tentacles waving gently. "You all show exceptional talent in xenobiology," Professor Ta continued. "And importantly, you all have adaptations that might help you survive on Earth." "Is it really that dangerous?" Dai asked, her voice like chimes in the wind. Professor Ta walked to the wall and touched a panel. A hologram of Earth appeared, spinning slowly. "Earth is classified as a Class 12 Deathworld for many reasons," he said gravely. "The gravity is crushing. The temperature swings would kill most species. Water falls from the sky regularly. The atmosphere contains corrosive oxygen. And the biological threats." He shuddered. "Microscopic organisms exist everywhere, constantly trying to invade any living body." Hannah's tentacles curled tightly against her body. "Then how do humans survive?" "That," said Professor Tai, "is what you're going to study." The preparation took a full month. Each student was fitted with a special environmental suit designed to protect them from Earth's harsh conditions. "These suits will filter the air, regulate temperature, and provide a slight anti-gravity field to help with the crushing pressure," explained the technician. June examined his suit. It was sleek and designed to fit his 4-armed Loraxian body. "Will we need to wear these all the time?" he asked. "Absolutely," Professor Ta said firmly. "Remove them only in your specially prepared quarters at the university." In the final briefing, they reviewed images of humans. June was fascinated by their simple design. Just 2 arms, 2 legs, and no obvious defensive features. "They look so fragile," Dai observed. "That is their most dangerous deception," Professor Ta warned. "These creatures evolved on a planet that should have killed them. Instead, it made them strong in ways we're still discovering. Their bones are internally reinforced with calcium deposits," he continued. "Their skin constantly regenerates. They can lose significant amounts of blood and survive. They can even lose entire limbs and continue living." Hannah's eyes widened. "They sound like monsters." "No," Professor Ta corrected. "They are survivors, and we have much to learn from them." The day of departure came quickly. The 3 students stood before the transport ship, their environmental suits sealed and checked 3 times. "Remember your training," Professor Ta said. "Observe everything. Document your findings. And most importantly, stay safe." June's skin rippled with blue waves of nervousness. What if the humans realize we find their world terrifying? Professor Ta placed a gnarled hand on June's shoulder. They know. Part of this exchange is diplomatic. Humans want to understand how others see them. The boarding call sounded. The three students picked up their sealed cases and walked toward the ship. One last thing, Professor Ta called after them. Humans value what they call friendship. It's a complex social bond. If you can form this connection with them, you may learn more than any scanner or test could tell you. June nodded. As he stepped onto the ship, his skin settled into a determined green. He was about to visit a world that most aliens would never dare approach. A world so dangerous it had shaped its dominant species into something the galaxy both feared and admired. A death world. Earth. The ship landed with a gentle thud at Seoul International Spaceport. June checked his environmental suit readings one last time. All systems showed green. Next to him, Daz's crystalline form shimmered with nervous energy, while Hannah's tentacles curled and uncurled anxiously. Remember, June said, we are scientists first. We observe and learn. The door opened. Bright sunlight streamed in. Through their suit visors, they saw a group of humans waiting on the landing pad. Welcome to Earth, said a human in the center. He was tall with gray hair and round glasses. I am Professor Kim, your guide at Seoul National University. We are honored to have you here. June stepped forward carefully, feeling the extra pull of Earth's gravity even through his suit's compensators. Thank you for having us. I am June. These are my colleagues, Da and Hannah. Professor Kim smiled. Let me introduce your student partners. Three younger humans stepped forward. This is Minho, Professor Kim said, pointing to a tall, broad-shouldered male. And Sunwoo, he continued, indicating a slim male with intelligent eyes. And finally Ja, he finished, gesturing to a female with long black hair. The humans wore no protective gear. They breathed the oxygen-heavy air directly. Their skin was exposed to the sunlight and microbes. June's scientific mind raced with questions. The university had prepared special rooms for the alien students. The quarters were sealed and adjusted to mimic their home world's conditions. You may remove your suits here safely, Professor Kim explained. Outside these rooms, we recommend keeping them on until you acclimate. Later that evening, they gathered in a conference room. The humans sat comfortably while the aliens remained in their suits. Tomorrow we begin our formal studies, Professor Kim said. But tonight, let's get to know each other. Minho leaned forward. I'm curious, what surprises you most about Earth so far? Daz's crystalline form caught the light as she spoke. Your gravity is intense. I feel heavy even with suit compensation. The humans nodded understandingly. What about you, Hannah? Ja asked. Hannah's voice came through her translator. I am surprised by how many life forms are everywhere. My sensors detect billions of microscopic organisms in this room alone. The humans laughed. June noticed they did this often, found humor in things that terrified other species. That's true, Sunwoo said. We share our planet with trillions of other creatures, most too small to see. And they don't harm you? June asked. Some do, Minho said casually. We call it getting sick, but our bodies fight them off most of the time. The aliens exchanged glances. Living with constant microscopic warfare was unimaginable. That night, June was writing in his research journal when he heard a loud boom. His room shook slightly. Warning lights flashed on his monitoring equipment. His door slid open. Dai and Hannah rushed in, both clearly alarmed. What was that explosion? Hannah asked, her tentacles whipping around in distress. My sensors indicate atmospheric electrical discharge, Dai said. A lightning strike. Another boom rattled the windows. June checked the emergency panel. No alarms were sounding in the human parts of the building. His communication device buzzed. It was Minho. Hey, just checking if you guys are okay with the thunderstorm, the human said. His face on the screen looked calm. Some species find them frightening. Thunderstorm, Jun repeated. You mean the atmospheric energy bombardment? Minho smiled. Yeah, just rain and lightning. Nothing to worry about. Happens all the time here. All the time. Hannah's voice rose in pitch. Your planet randomly fires electrical energy from the sky, all the time, and you don't worry. Minho shrugged. We're inside. Buildings have lightning rods. It's fine. After the call ended, the three aliens stared at each other. They live with this, Day said quietly. Regular electrical storms that would fry the circuits of most advanced civilizations, and they just sleep through it. June went to the window and looked out. Water poured from the sky in sheets. Lightning flashed, illuminating the campus. In a building across the way, he could see humans going about their evening, as if nothing unusual was happening. Professor Tai was right, he said softly. We understand nothing about humans yet. Outside, thunder boomed again. In the distance, Jun saw a human running through the rain without protection, laughing as the water soaked them completely. Their planet tries to kill them, Hana whispered, and they find it fun. Jun made a note in his journal. Asterisk first observation. Humans don't just survive Earth's hostile conditions. They have made peace with them in ways we cannot yet comprehend. Asterisk. He had a feeling this was just the beginning of their discoveries. Today we're going to Bukhansan National Park, Professor Kim announced at breakfast. It's the perfect place to study Earth's natural environment. June, Dai, and Hannah exchanged nervous glances. They had been on Earth for only 3 days, and already they were going into the wilderness. Will it be safe? Hannah asked, her tentacles twisting with worry. Minho laughed. It's just a light hike. Families with small children do it all the time. The aliens weren't comforted by this. On their worlds, young were protected most carefully of all. The university van stopped at the base of a mountain. Trees stretched high above them. Birds called in the distance. Insects buzzed through the air. So much life, Dai whispered, her crystalline form reflecting the sunlight. And all of it competing. That's Earth for you, Sunwoo said proudly. Life finds a way everywhere here. Professor Kim handed out sample collection kits. Stay with your partners and gather specimens. We'll meet back here in 4 hours. Jun went with Minho, Dai with Sunwoo, and Hana with Ja. They split up on different paths. Jun walked carefully, his environmental suit helping him manage Earth's gravity. Minho moved easily ahead of him, jumping over rocks and roots without effort. How do you move so freely? Jun asked. Doesn't the gravity wear you down? Minho shrugged. This is normal for us. We evolved here. They stopped by a small stream. Minho knelt and dipped his bare hand into the running water. You touch it directly. Jun was shocked. Without testing it first. It's just water, Minho said. Then understanding dawned on his face. Oh, I forget. On your world, some water might be dangerous. All freestanding liquid is tested before contact, Jun explained. It could contain harmful chemicals or organisms. Minho nodded. Here too, sometimes, but we can usually tell by looking. This stream is clear, no strange colors or smells. It's probably safe. Probably, Jun repeated, recording this in his notes. Humans lived on probability, not certainty. On another trail, Sunwoo slipped on some loose rocks. He fell hard, cutting his arm on a sharp stone. You're injured, Dag cried out, her crystalline form vibrating with alarm. Sunwoo looked at his arm. Blood seeped from a 3-inch cut. It's just a scratch, he said, pulling a small kit from his backpack. Day watched in horror as Sunwoo cleaned the wound with a wipe, applied something from a tube, and covered it with a bandage. Shouldn't we call for emergency evacuation? She asked. Your internal fluids are leaking. Sunwoo laughed. It'll be healed in a few days. Not even worth a trip to the doctor. A few days. Des' voice rose in pitch. Your body can repair such damage in days. Sure, the human body is pretty good at fixing itself. Sunwoo stood up and continued hiking, as if nothing had happened. Day followed, recording everything. On her world, such an injury would require medical stasis and regeneration therapy. Higher up the mountain, Hana watched as Jia expertly identified plants and insects. How do you know which ones are dangerous? Hana asked. Some we learn about as children, Jia explained. Others look similar to known dangerous species, and some we just avoid touching to be safe. Hana's telepathic abilities picked up surface thoughts from Jia, a constant, almost unconscious evaluation of surroundings. Risk assessment, threat evaluation, escape routes. It shocked Hana. You're always scanning for danger. Jia looked confused. What do you mean? Your thoughts. You're constantly checking for threats. Is that normal for humans? Jia considered this. I guess we do that without thinking about it. It's just instinct. Hana made detailed notes. Humans had evolved not just physical adaptations to their death world, but mental ones too. Constant vigilance that operated below conscious awareness. At the top of the trail, the three pairs met again. The view was spectacular. Mountains, forests, and the city in the distance. Let's have lunch here, Professor Kim suggested, opening a pack of food. The aliens retreated to a safe distance to consume their specially prepared nutrient solutions while watching the humans eat their food directly. No protective barriers, no sterilization procedures. They just ate. Later, on the way down, they passed a group of humans running up the steep trail. Sweat poured from their bodies. Their breathing was heavy, yet they smiled and nodded as they passed. They're doing this for enjoyment, Jun asked, incredulous. Exercise, Minho explained, keeping our bodies strong. Jun thought about this as they descended. Humans didn't just survive their death world. They deliberately challenged themselves against it. They bullied without panic. They drank untested water. They constantly, subconsciously searched for threats. And they called it normal. That night, the three aliens compared notes in their quarters. Humans don't just live on a death world, Daz said. They are shaped by it in ways we're only beginning to understand. And the most frightening part, Hana added, is that they don't even realize how extraordinary they are. Jun nodded. We've only scratched the surface of understanding them. Outside their window, rain began to fall again. This time, they didn't panic. Today we will work in the chemistry laboratory, Professor Kim announced 1 week into their stay. We'll analyze some common Earth substances. The university's lab was large and bright. The aliens wore their environmental suits while the humans wore only thin white coats and small eye shields. Jun, Dai, and Hana were each given a station with their human partners. On each table sat rows of small containers with different substances. These are common items humans encounter daily, Professor Kim explained. Let's analyze their chemical makeup. Jun used his scanner to examine the first sample, a brown liquid in a small cup. This substance contains multiple toxins, he said, alarmed. My scanner identifies at least 3 different poisons. Minho looked over and laughed. That's just coffee. Want to see something cool? He picked up the cup and drank from it. All 3 aliens froze in horror. You just consumed poison. Hana's tentacles waved frantically. It's not poison to us, Jia explained gently. Caffeine affects humans differently. It makes us more alert. You consume toxins for their effects on your system. Daz's crystalline form pulsed with confusion. Sometimes, Sunwoo said, many plants on Earth produce chemicals to avoid being eaten. Humans have adapted to not only tolerate these chemicals but occasionally enjoy their effects. The aliens made detailed notes on their data pads. A species that deliberately consumed toxins for pleasure was unheard of in the galaxy. The next sample was a red fruit. This contains capsaicin, Day reported after scanning it. That's a known neurotoxin. We call these chili peppers, Professor Kim said. They're an important part of Korean cuisine. To demonstrate, he bit into the red pod. The aliens watched in disbelief as he chewed and swallowed. Isn't it painful? Jun asked. Yes, a bit, Professor Kim admitted, his face slightly flushed. That's part of the appeal. You seek out pain for enjoyment. Hana was struggling to understand. The burn of spicy food is different from harmful pain. Joe tried to explain. It's a sensation many humans enjoy. The aliens exchanged glances. Their translators must be malfunctioning. No rational species would seek discomfort for pleasure. After the lab session, they went to a restaurant for dinner. The aliens brought their nutrient solutions while the humans ordered from a menu. When the food arrived, the aliens watched the humans through their suit visors. I've analyzed your meals, Dae said cautiously. The dish you call kimchi contains multiple compounds that would be toxic to 17 different species in the Galactic Union. Really? Minho seemed surprised as he took a large bite. Kimchi is healthy for humans, full of good bacteria. Good bacteria, Jun repeated. You deliberately consume microorganisms. Yes, Sunwoo explained. They help our digestion. Hannah's telepathic senses picked up the humans' genuine enjoyment of their food that would kill many aliens. Humans evolved alongside these plants and microbes. Professor Kim explained. Over thousands of generations, we developed not just tolerance but dependency on some of these chemical compounds. Your bodies can handle toxins that would kill us instantly, Jun said. How is this possible? Earth's plants evolved chemical defenses, Professor Kim said. Animals that ate them either died or adapted. Humans are extremely adaptable. It's like an arms race, Sunwoo added. Plants developed poisons. Animals developed resistance. Plants made stronger poisons. The cycle continued for millions of years. The aliens were silent, processing this information. They had never considered that a planet's food could be weaponized by evolution. Later that evening, in their quarters, Jun reviewed the data they had collected. A typical human meal contains compounds that would be considered hazardous waste on 12-member worlds, he told the others. Their detoxification systems are remarkable, Dae agreed. Their livers can process chemicals that would shut down most species' entire systems. And they deliberately seek out these chemicals, Hana added. The burning sensation of spicy food, the bitter taste of coffee, the fermentation of kimchi. They don't just tolerate these things, they enjoy them. Jun made a final entry in his notes. Earth's chemical warfare between plants and animals created humans with unprecedented detoxification abilities. What other species consider deadly poison, humans consider lunch. We've always wondered why Earth was classified as a death world, he said quietly. Now we know it's not just the physics of the planet or the predators. It's in the very chemistry of everything here. Dae nodded. Everything on this planet is trying to kill everything else. And somehow, Hana finished, humans are winning. 2 weeks into their stay on Earth, the aliens were feeling the strain. Despite their environmental suits, Earth's gravity was taking a toll on their bodies. Jun sat heavily in his chair during their morning meeting. His usually bright skin had dulled to a pale blue. Next to him, Dae's crystalline form seemed slightly compressed. Hannah's tentacles drooped toward the floor instead of floating around her. Are you all right? Professor Kim asked with concern. We need more rest periods, Jun admitted. Earth's gravity is exhausting. The humans looked surprised. But your suits have gravity compensators, don't they? Sunwoo asked. They reduced the effect by 40%, Dae explained. But even with that, we're experiencing physical stress. Professor Kim nodded thoughtfully. Perhaps we should adjust our schedule. More breaks and shorter field trips. No, Jun said firmly. We came to study. We will adapt. Professor Kim smiled. That's very human of you. Later that day, Minho invited the aliens to watch a university sports competition. It will be educational, he promised. You can observe human physical capabilities. The aliens sat in a special section of the stands. All around them, human students cheered loudly. First came the runners. The aliens watched as humans sprinted around a track. Their speed was remarkable for beings from a high-gravity world. They move so fast, Dai observed, like they don't feel the weight at all. Humans evolved as pursuit predators, Jia explained. Our ancestors chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. You hunted by running. Hana was shocked. On her world, hunting required stealth and traps. Not just running, Jia continued. Humans can sweat. It cools our bodies so we can keep going when other animals have to stop and rest. The aliens made notes. The ability to regulate body temperature through fluid excretion was rare in the galaxy. Next came the jumping events. The aliens watched in disbelief as humans launched themselves over bars and across sandpits. Their leg strength is incredible, Jun said, calculating the force needed to overcome Earth's gravity so dramatically. Look at that one, Dad pointed to a human lifting a heavy metal bar loaded with weights. Minho explained, that's weightlifting. The best humans can lift more than 3 times their body weight. Hannah's tentacles curled in surprise. How do their muscles not tear? Their bones not break? Human bones are surprisingly strong, Sunwoo said, and our muscles rebuild stronger when stressed. Jun made rapid calculations on his datapad. According to this, the average human is stronger, pound for pound, than 90% of known sentient species. We never thought of ourselves that way, Minho said, looking surprised. This is just normal for us. That word again, normal. The aliens were beginning to understand that what humans considered normal would be extraordinary anywhere else. After the competition, they'd returned to the laboratory. Jun had a theory he wanted to test. Using the university's equipment, he created a 3D model comparing the muscle density of humans to other species in the galaxy. Look at this, he told the others, displaying his findings. Human muscle tissue is approximately 3 times denser than the galactic average. And your skeletal structure, Dai added, bringing up her own scans. The calcium-reinforced bones would be considered military-grade biological armor on most worlds. Hana had been studying the human nervous system. Their pain processing is unlike anything I've seen, she said. Humans can continue functioning through pain that would incapacitate most species. That makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint, Jun said. On a high-gravity world with predators and environmental dangers, the ability to function while injured would be essential for survival. The humans listened to this analysis with growing surprise. We never thought of ourselves as particularly tough, Jia said. There are many Earth animals much stronger than us. By Earth standards, perhaps, Jun replied. But by galactic standards, even your weak are strong. That evening, Jun could barely move. Even with regular rest periods, Earth's gravity was wearing him down. He lay on his bed, his environmental suit finally removed in the safety of his quarters. There was a knock at his door. It was Minho. I brought you something, the human said, holding out a small device. It's a portable gravity dampener. We use them for physical therapy. It might help. Jun took the device gratefully. Thank you. You know, Minho said, watching you struggle with our gravity made me realize something. We humans take for granted what our bodies can do. Jun's skin brightened slightly. And we aliens never understood what it truly meant to evolve on a death world. As Minho left, Jun made a new entry in his research journal. Asterisk, the most remarkable adaptation humans have made to their death world may be psychological. They don't recognize how extraordinary they are. What would these beings accomplish if they understood their true potential in the galaxy asterisk? It was a question that both excited and frightened him. 3 weeks into their stay, something strange happened at the university. Many human students began showing similar symptoms, coughing, sneezing, and complaining of sore throats. "What's happening?" June asked Minho during their morning class. "Are humans being attacked by something?" Minho wiped his nose with a tissue. "It's just a cold going around. Nothing serious." "A cold," Dae repeated. Her sensors had been recording the outbreak with growing alarm. "A virus," Professor Kim explained. "They spread easily in places with many people, like universities." The aliens moved their chairs back slightly. "Don't worry," Jia said, noticing their reaction. "Your environmental suits will protect you. And even if they didn't, human viruses probably can't infect your biology." "You live with these invasions regularly?" Hannah asked. "All the time," Sunwoo said. He coughed into his elbow. "Sorry, I think I'm catching it too." The aliens were stunned. The humans knew they were being invaded by hostile organisms and yet continued their normal activities. That afternoon, they gathered in the biology lab. Professor Kim had prepared a special demonstration. "Today, we're going to look at what makes humans unique from a microbial perspective," he said. He placed a small skin sample from a volunteer under a powerful microscope. The image was projected on a large screen. "This is healthy human skin," he explained. "Notice anything?" June studied the image. "It's covered with microorganisms." "Exactly," Professor Kim said. "The average human has trillions of bacteria living on and inside their body at all times." "And they don't harm you?" Dae asked. "Most help us," Professor Kim said. "They protect us from harmful bacteria, help digest our food, and even produce vitamins our bodies need." The aliens were trying to process this information. On their worlds, any microorganism invasion was treated as a serious medical emergency. "Humans evolved alongside these microbes," Jia explained. "We've developed a complex relationship with them." "It's more than a relationship," Jum said, examining the data. "It's an alliance." Professor Kim nodded. "That's a good way to describe it." The next day, they examined blood samples under the microscope. "These white cells are part of the human immune system," Professor Kim explained. "They attack invading organisms." The aliens watched as a white blood cell surrounded and consumed a bacteria in the sample. "Your bodies wage constant warfare at the microscopic level," Dae observed. "Without us ever thinking about it," Minho agreed. "Our bodies are battlefields." Hannah's tentacles curled thoughtfully. "This explains so much about human psychology. You live with constant invasion and defense. No wonder you're so resilient." Professor Kim brought up another slide. "This is what happens when the immune system recognizes an invader it has defeated before." The screen showed white blood cells swarming toward a virus, surrounding and destroying it with remarkable efficiency. "Memory cells," Professor Kim explained. "Once the human body fights off an infection, it remembers how to defeat it next time." "Biological learning," Jun whispered, making rapid notes. "Your bodies learn from attacks." "Yes," Professor Kim said. "What doesn't kill us literally makes us stronger." That evening, the aliens returned to their quarters to find Dae moving slowly, her crystalline form clouded and dull. "Are you all right?" June asked with concern. "I don't feel well," she said. "My suit integrity may have been compromised." Hannah ran a scanner over her. "You have foreign organisms in your system, Earth bacteria." They called Professor Kim immediately. Within minutes, Dae was taken to the University Medical Center. The other aliens watched anxiously as human doctors examined her. "She's fighting an infection her system has never encountered," the doctor explained. "We're giving her antibiotics to help." "Will she recover?" June asked, his skin pale with worry. "The infection was caught early," the doctor said. "She should be fine." 3 days later, Dad was back with them, her crystalline form clear again. "The humans saved me," she told them in their quarters. "Their medical knowledge of fighting microbes is far beyond ours." "It had to be," Jum said. "On a world teeming with microscopic threats, advanced medical science would be essential for survival." Hannah floated closer to them, her tentacles waving excitedly. "Don't you see what this means? Humans don't just have stronger bodies and greater tolerance for toxins. They have biological systems that learn and adapt to threats during their lifetimes." June added a new note to his research journal. Earth's microbial diversity created humans with adaptive immune systems capable of learning and remembering threats. This biological intelligence operates independently of their conscious mind, fighting battles they aren't even aware of. "Each day we learn more about what makes Earth a death world," he said, "and what makes humans uniquely suited to survive it." "Not just survive," Dad corrected. "Thrive." The day came for the alien students to return home. After a month on Earth, they had gathered more data than any previous research team. They packed their samples, backed up their notes, and prepared for their presentation to the Galactic Union Scientific Committee. "I can't believe it's time to leave already," Jum said as they gathered for a farewell dinner with their human friends. "Will you miss Earth?" Jia asked. The aliens looked at each other. "We will miss you," Hannah said sincerely. "But Earth," her tentacles curled expressively. "Earth is terrifying." Dai finished for her. The humans laughed. Over the past month, they had grown used to the aliens' fear of their world. "Before we go," Jum said, "we have one last question. Humans clearly know that your world is dangerous by galactic standards. Yet you seem to seek out even more danger through activities like extreme sports. Why?" The humans thought about this. "I think," Minho said slowly, "it's because we need challenges. Without them, we feel stuck. It's about pushing limits," Sunwoo added, "seeing what's possible." Professor Kim nodded. "Humans have always been explorers. We climb mountains because they're there. We dive to ocean depths because they're unknown. The risk is part of the reward." The aliens made their final notes. This drive to face danger voluntarily rather than avoid it was perhaps the most alien concept they had encountered on Earth. 1 week later, they stood before the Galactic Union Scientific Committee. Representatives from 47 worlds waited to hear their findings. Dr. Tai introduced them proudly. "These students have gathered more direct data about Earth than any previous research team. I present Jun, Dai, and Hana." Jun stepped forward first. "Honored representatives," he began, "Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world for many reasons: high gravity, atmospheric oxygen, extreme weather, diverse microbial life, and abundant toxins." He displayed images from their trip: thunderstorms, mountain hikes, the university dining hall. "But what makes Earth truly dangerous is not the planet itself," he continued. "It's what the planet has created." Day took over, showing the medical scans they had collected. "Humans have evolved biological systems beyond anything we've seen," she explained. "Their muscle density is 3 times the galactic average. Their bones would qualify as military-grade armor on most worlds. Their digestive systems can process toxins that would kill most of us instantly." Murmurs spread through the committee. Hana presented next, displaying brain scans and nerve response data. "Human nervous systems process pain differently," she said. "They can continue functioning through injuries that would immobilize most species, and their immune systems learn and adapt to threats during their lifetime. Most remarkably," Jun added, "they do not realize how extraordinary they are. What they consider normal would be superhuman on most worlds." The committee members looked disturbed by this assessment. "Are you suggesting humans are a danger to the Galactic Union?" one representative asked. "No," Jum said firmly. "We're suggesting they would make perfect allies." He played video clips they had recorded: Minho helping Jun when he struggled with gravity, Sunwoo teaching Dai about Earth chemistry, human doctors treating Da's infection. "Humans are as compassionate as they are strong," Jun explained. "They use their abilities to help, not harm. Their drive to explore and overcome challenges has given them remarkable adaptability." Dr. Ta stepped forward. "Based on these findings, I recommend we upgrade Earth's classification to Class 13. evolutionary crucible. And I suggest we approach humans not with fear, but with respect. The head of the committee nodded slowly. This is much to consider. What final assessment would you students offer about humans? The three students exchanged glances. Humans are Deathworlders, Jun said. They were forged by a planet that tried to kill them at every turn. But instead of just surviving, they learn to thrive. They don't conquer their world, Dai added. They adapt to it, work with it, even love it with all its dangers. And most importantly, Hannah finished, they extend the same adaptability to their relationships with others. They helped us survive their world. They would help the Galactic Union face any challenge. In conclusion, Jum said, we believe the question isn't whether humans are dangerous. They are. The question is whether they will use their unique abilities as friends or foes. And based on our experience, we believe they would make the most valuable friends the galaxy could have. The committee voted unanimously to accept their recommendation. Earth would be reclassified, and a formal alliance would be proposed. Months later, Jun received a message from Minho. The human had been selected for the first official human exchange to the Galactic Academy. Are you sure you want to come? Jun asked during their video call. Our worlds might seem very strange to you. Minho grinned. That's exactly why I want to come. New challenges, new frontiers. Jun's skin rippled with blue amusement. Deathworlders, indeed. They feared nothing, not even the unknown reaches of the galaxy. And perhaps that was exactly what the galaxy needed.